Hi, James Barry here with Morris, and we're going to talk a little bit this afternoon about turning tools and sharpening them. And our new philosophy, in so much as go to your grinder in the morning, grind some of your tools up, but don't return to it for the rest of the day. Just hone and maintain your tools. You don't have to do too much more. So, Morris, what have you got to show me?
Well, first off, normally we'll be starting out with a bowl gouge. And what I'd like to show you is what I've found works with these diamond hones. We can pick just about any of the variety to use, and let's just start off with your credit card stone. And we'll get plenty of lapping fluid on there. And being as how the grind is what is known as a hollow grind, we'll have 2 points of contact that we can find very simply. You see just exactly how you can reach both points of contact. And what I find works is just a slow rotation completely around the axis, maintaining contact with both surfaces, and it will provide a very keen edge. Absolutely no pressure whatsoever.
And what grit was that you were working?
This 300 grit, I find the 300, 400 grit works very well with a high-speed steel.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
All right, the next stone, let's just stay with our curved tools. This is a spindle gouge. We'll do the same thing with the small rectangular file. I'll be on the 300 grit side again. Again, it's hollow ground. We can find the 2 points of contact very easily.
Yeah.
And I just rotate it around again. And you will find when you first start or first try to do this that sometimes you'll find that stone will walk out or walk back with you, and that's quite normal. That's no big problem there. Just give yourself an opportunity to get the feel, and you'll find that you won't be going back to the grinder every time the tool starts losing its edge. You can touch it up real quick in a matter of just a few seconds, and you're ready to go again.
So, these are shaped gouges. What about, would you leave the burr on there? Would you take the burr off? I hear various people say they want to take it on, leave it off.
That's strictly up to the user. I turn with the burr. There's other people that prefer to take the burr off. They feel it's more comfortable. That's absolutely no problem. You can take the half-round files, or the contoured files.
Yep.
Go right on in on the flute. Clean that burr right off. You still got a very viable edge.
Yeah.
And you're off and running. So whichever school you come from, it's fine. Not a problem whatsoever. We'll try a roughing gouge next, a spindle roughing gouge, and let's use a different tool. We got the smaller stone. We're on the 300 grit side. Again, it's just a matter of finding where the 2 points of contact come together, rotating around its circumference, keeping it in contact. Now, it may take you all of 3 or 4 minutes to get the dexterity necessary to keep the 2 points in contact, but it's well worth the time. Again, if you like to take the burr off, you can just slide the round files in
Just
there.
making sure that's totally flat on there. Yeah. Okay.
And it'll take that burr straight off. Absolutely no problem.
Do you know what? When I'm doing my turning, and anybody who knows me will find that very funny, and I'm using my skew, I'm getting great results using this machinist file, which is a fine and a coarse, and I like to use the fine on this side. And exactly the same as what you were just saying about these two edges. And I just find it so simple that you're just touching that one and coming up, and you just know exactly when you're in there. And as you're doing just in that circular motion, you're taking it down one side and turning it over and doing exactly the same to the other. Now, something I have noticed over the last few months, that there seems to be a new buzzword out there, which is micro bevel. Would you just like to explain to us all about this micro bevel? Because I actually think I've just put one on.
That's it. What's basically happening is we have a concave surface, and we have 2 points of contact. If we put a flat stone, you'll find that there's a hollow between the 2 points.
Yeah.
And as we're reestablishing our edge, we're actually establishing 2 additional bevels, one on the heel, one at the point. And those are those could be considered either secondary or micro bevels.
Okay.
Now, I personally use those micro bevels, particularly on the bowl gouge when I'm doing what is known as shear scraping. I can actually ride, as I'm shear scraping, I can open. Shear scraping is normally done with the flute almost closed to the wood. I can actually open that flute up, ride the secondary bevel, and get a super fine cut on the outside.
Right. And with the, just going back briefly to that skew, how often do you actually go and grind that?
Once I found now that I've been using these stones, the diamond stones, is once I've established the shape that I'm satisfied with, unless this comes in contact with concrete, or you run it into your chuck, or another piece of metal, I have yet to go back to the grinder on the skew.
So that actually must save your tooling.
Oh yes, the life of the tool is exponentially extended.
Okay, so we've been looking at a few of these diamond stones, and I noticed we've got a taper and a slightly larger 3-inch taper there, and a 6-inch taper in the machine. So and this other rest so if you're doing wood turning and you're looking at this sort of array of tooling that we've been looking at, now which ones do you need?
Well, actually, you need probably 1, maybe 2. But it depends on you. I found that if the people come up and they'll pick up the stone that they feel fits their hand with the tool that they're sharpening. Those are the ones they need to buy. Now, I would highly recommend the flatter stones for hand work. If you're going to remove the wire edge or the burr from inside of your gouges, I would highly recommend something with a curve to it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
For the inside. You can also use this on the outside just as well. But it works very well in removing the burr from the inside, regardless of if you want to use a sweeping motion or if you want to use a sliding motion.
And all of these tools are extremely effective on carbide.
Oh yeah, absolutely no problem. I would recommend the higher grits though. The finer grits.
So basically, this sort of system does make life a lot easier. And
tremendously.
Saves you going to the grinder all day long.
Oh, I don't go back to the grinder once a day basically anymore. To reshape the tool is about all I need to go to the grinder for.
Owning and maintaining. That is what you need to be doing. Thank you, Morris.
My pleasure.